Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Chiropractor in the video today, and we're back for another NBA recap video. As this one should not take as long as the other ones usually take. The other ones usually take like 10 to 12 minutes because we're going over 10 games. But as you know, the last 2 games of 2 days of basketball, we've had 15 and 13 games played on Monday and Wednesday. Don't count Tuesday because there were no games on Tuesday because of the election. So there's only 4 games today. Some of these teams did not play yesterday. Some of these teams are on back-to-back. So let's go over them. There were some interesting games today. I didn't watch any games. I was watching my focus was on Thursday Night Football, which I'll be making a video about too. And really, there was only one game on TV, which was the Sixers-Hawks. And that was on NBA TV. I have League Pass, but I wasn't at home. I was with my grandparents. So let's get into it. Getting into the main headline, this wasn't the best game, but the main headline, which you see on the title, is the Wizards and Kyle Kuzma. The Wizards get a win, 113-105 against the Dallas Mavericks. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to make the Mavs fans, whoever, if they're Mavs fans that are watching me, but is this time to worry? Last 2 games, you lose to 7 by the Magic. Now you lose by 8 to the Wizards. Maybe just a slump going in. You saw the Warriors lose whatever it was, 5 games in a row. And the Warriors not looking as great in their first win back since the 5-game losing streak. But, we saw the Warriors go through a slump. Maybe the Mavericks are going through a little slump as well. But what a performance by Kyle Kuzma in this one. He scores 36, 11, and 6. Oh, my God. That was not you kind of could tell that Kuzma was going to have a good game. There was no... Yeah, that's a little worrying for the Mavericks. There was no Kristaps Porzingis or Bradley Beal in this game. So you lost to a Wizards team that's not the best in the West, not the best in the East, and not only but they were out without their 2 best players. So I didn't know that Beal and Porzingis didn't play. I did not know that, and now that I do, I'm not surprised that Kuzma had a big game. But almost 40 points, good for Kuzma. He deserves it. He kind of reminds me like Lauri Markkanen, You see a guy like Lauri Markkanen and all the success he had because he's one of the number 1 options. It's not like Kuzma's the number 1 option for the Wizards, but because you got Beal and Porzingis, but you see what he can do when he is the number 1 option. So good for Kuzma. He deserves it, and I hope that he can find himself on if Beal and Porzingis were to go bye-bye, get in a trade, I would be okay with Kuzma being the number 1 option with some other players with the Wizards. But moving on, Avdija had 12. Barden off the bench had 14. Rui Hachimura off the bench had 23 and 8. So great game from him as well. And Daniel Gafford had 11 and 10 for the Mavericks. Luka had 22, 9, and 6. Most of his games have been in the 30 range, so surprising to see him go under 30. But you don't have your main 30 scorer. Why don't you get another Dinwiddie with 33? That's 2 good games in a row for him. Hardaway with 16 off the bench. He's been coming off the bench. And Dwight Powell, who's now been starting, he had 14 and 7. That's really it. That was a good game. Surprising upset. Good performances by Kuzma and Hachimura lead the way for the Wizards to win. Heat Hornets. What a bad start for the Hornets this season. They look pretty awful. I know, we'll give them a little excuse. They've had some injuries, which these injuries to start the season might really cost them. They're a good basketball team, and their injuries are really hurting them to start the season. With Gordon Hayward's missed a lot of time, LaMelo Ball's been out, but the Heat beat the Hornets 112-117 in overtime. For a team with the Hornets that are so unhealthy right now, so many injuries, surprising that they almost beat the Heat. So yeah, great game from Jimmy Butler. He hit 35, 10, and 8 tonight. Almost a 40-point triple-double. First he had to get 5 points and 2 assists, but great performance by Jimmy Butler. 12 for Max Strus, 18 and 14 for Bam Adebayo, 14 off the bench for Duncan Robinson. It's good to see him have a good game. He's been having a really bad season. And for the Hornets, 22 for Rozier. He's someone who missed the first couple games of the season. Now he's came back well, you've gotten him back, but you lose Hayward and LaMelo Ball. So, yeah, they're full of injuries, but we'll see how they do when they fully get healthy. They're a decent team when they fully get healthy, but I think they're 3-10, so their record, the Hornets' record, might hurt them for when them healthy. It might take them a little bit to catch back in the East once LaMelo and Gordon Hayward and some of those other guys that are hurt come back, but we'll see what happens. PJ Washington with 9-5, Dennis Smith Jr. with 12. And McDaniels was 16. Moving on to the next game, the Sixers and the Hawks. The Hawks beat the Sixers 104-95. Good game from the Hawks. Good bounce back win after losing to the Utah Jazz yesterday. By the way, speaking of the Utah Jazz, just made a very good video about them. Go check that out. And yeah, so I didn't watch this game. I didn't watch any game today, which that's been unlike me this season. I've been keeping in tune and everything, so I got to watch some highlights after this video. But it looked like Atlanta had control of this game because they were down. Philadelphia was down 14 at the end of the third. But they were up 4 at halftime. So, I mean, this looked like this was an up and down game, but at the end, the Hawks end up winning it. DeJounte Murray 10-8, it was kind of a bad game for him, but yeah, I think he had a really good game yesterday. Trae Young with 26, Hunter with 14, Capella with 18 and 20. This is back-to-back games. He's had 20 rebounds. Collins with 11, Okongwu with 10 and 11. And then for the Sixers, Tobias Harris with 12, Maxey with 15, Embiid with 26 and 13, Melton with 5 and 10, and Georgie Nang with 9, and Montrezl with 8. And moving on to the last game, Blazers-Pelicans. What a win for the Blazers. They win 106-95. They are now 9-3. Pelicans go to 6-6. And the Blazers really had control in this one, leading by 11. Let's go over the stats. McCollum with 13, 7 and 7. Herbert Jones with 10. Zion with 29, nearly 30 for him. 14 for Brandon Ingram. 16 for Trey Murphy. 7-11 for Valanciunas for the Blazers. No Dame in this one. That was a good win for the Blazers with no Dame. Jeremy Grant with 27, 17 for Josh Hart, 12 for Justice Winslow, 23 for Anthony Simons, and 15 for Nasir Little. So, I mean, there was only 4 games today, but it was some decent games. I mean, the Hawks and the Sixers game and the Trailblazers and the Pelicans weren't that really close. Looks like the Wizards and the Mavericks weren't that close either. The only really close one was the Heat and the Hornets that went overtime. So that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you thought about today's game. I didn't watch a single damn game today. I was focused on football and just hanging out. So I could have watched the Sixers and the Hawks, but I was like, you know what, not really a big deal. So that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. That was a malfunction. That's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out. Y'all have a good night.